problem. We have a rancher that is trying to put up a rectangular cattle pen, and his original plan was too expensive, so he's going to take that original plan and make it smaller in order to save money. And so we're wanting to know how much money does he spend on his new cattle pen. And so the first thing that I do whenever I see a big problem like this is I take out the important information. And so I kind of wrote down here that we have 764 yards squared. Yep, that's a squared right there. And then it's $9. The fencing costs $9 per linear foot. He saved 648, and how much does he spend? So another helpful thing that you can do is draw a diagram. And so I drew his original fence. We have the length, and then we have the width there. On his new one, I'm kind of using X here as an arbitrary figure. So he's subtracting a certain amount from the length and the width to get that smaller fence. And so the new length and width is L minus X and W minus X. So, and then these over here are just our important area and perimeter formulas. I'm not going to read through those right now, but in the new section, it's important to know I'm just using L minus X instead of L, kind of in place of. And so the first thing we want to do is how many feet of fencing did we save? So we're going to take that $648 that it says he saved $648 and it costs $9 per linear foot. So we can divide that and we saved 72 feet. And so using our new perimeter, our regular, this is our original perimeter formula, and this is our new one. If we do our original minus our new, that whole thing equals 72, because that's how much we saved. And so expanding this out right here, I didn't do that step by step for time's sake, but if you expand this entire thing, you're going to end up with 4x. And like I said earlier, we know that our P minus our P new is 72 feet. Solving for that, you divide both sides by 4. We get x equals 18 feet. So that's going to be important for later on. So another thing we want to determine is how many feet squared of area did we save? We're kind of trying to figure out, okay, we know we saved some fencing, how much? We know that we're cutting back on area, how much? So that we can figure out the cost in the end. So we start with 764 yards squared. This part can be a little trippy because this 3 squared turns into a 9. That's not the same $9 per linear foot that it's talking about. That just happens to be the same number. So we start with 764 yards squared, and we want to convert. So it so happens that there's 3 feet in 1 yard, but we have yards squared. So we also need to square that 3. So multiplying that out, multiplying 764 times 3 squared, gives us 6,876 feet squared. So that's how much area we are now saving with our new cattle pen. Here's our original area formula. Here's our new one. We're going to subtract that just like we did with perimeter. We know that we saved 6,876, so that's going in place of A minus A new. Just like how 72 went in place for P minus P new. Now simplifying this, like I said, I didn't do that for time's sake, that's going to end up with L plus W. And L plus W is equal to 400 feet. So now we know that L plus W equals 400 feet. We just need to figure out how much fencing we have and then multiply that by 9 for the cost of the fence. So to do that, we have our P new formula, which is the same formula as this right here, but simplified. And that gives us the 2 times L plus W minus 2x. Plugging in 400 for our L plus W and 18 for our x gives us 728 feet. We then multiply that by $9 for the cost, and that gives us $6,552. So that's how much money he saved. Thank you so much for watching.